Well, good morning. I'm about to go get me a cold brew and a bagel. Why are you getting? I'm getting a sprouted grain bagel. It, it tastes all right. It's actually very good. But if we're talking about taste and health, it really makes me feel like I'm getting a great start to my day. It does. So I'm gonna get me a sprouted grain bagel and some cold brew coffee. Do I need the cold brew? I don't know. But what am I talking about? I had wanted to come in because I'm sensing, so I need to pray. I really need to spend a lot of time praying. But I'm sensing something about this woman. Because I was trying to tell her what to do when somebody laughing at you. You clown them so they can get out your face. People don't like to be laughed at. So you clown them so they get out your face and stop laughing at you. But I guess they had their own way of dealing, their own coping mechanism, They have their own coping mechanism, so they'll be all right. But I was saying that people. Let's take this scenario. If you go in the store and you steal a Snicker bar by slipping it in your pocket, or you go in the bank with an automatic rifle and come out with $1 million, is there a difference between those two crimes to you? Is there a difference between those two crimes to you? Nobody got hurt with that candy, even though it was illegal to steal it and morally questionable. So you have a character flaw and you did something illegal, but nobody got hurt. But when you went in the bank with an automatic rifle, you were fully prepared to kill anybody who stood in your way of getting the money. And so that's a difference. That's a difference. Somebody that's stealing a Snicker bar probably hungry. Somebody that's robbing a bank with an automatic rifle is probably a killer. Probably a psychopathic murderer. And that's a difference. That's a difference. And I want to say, people, I know I'm not going to bother anybody. I just was wondering about that case but I guess it's a changing of the guard, out with the old and in with the new. And I was just wondering why they taking away that celebrity privilege all of a sudden to be able to buy anything you want. That's what I was wondering. Especially come after these two women. And that was one of America's little princesses. All hell would have busted loose in this country. All hell would have busted. That would have American Hollywood would have went berserker. They would have tried to lock up one of their little princesses. But these two women weren't on the A-list like they thought they were. They weren't on the A-list like they thought they were. And she went in here with $15,000. And they threw the book at her for $15,000. They threw the book at her for $15,000. And you can tell that she never committed a crime before in her life. You can tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an attorney. But I've taken legal classes because I took criminal justice in community college. I had a wonderful professor. He was a joy to learn from because he was enjoying his teaching. And I also took through what do they call it when you go to the other campus? I can't think of what that is when you go take a class at the other campus as a guest student. I can't think of what they call that. Cross enrollment. I took a cross enrollment class at Southern University. I took constitutional law. Fascinating. And it tells you a lot about knowing your rights. It's like if you go to the dentist, they'll tell you to sign this paper. Right? You have a right to get your records. Sign this paper. You have a right to privacy, and then you keep these. This is a letter saying that you signed the privacy. You were notified that you have a right to privacy. You were notified that you have a right to get a copy of your records. But she don't know her rights. It's obvious she didn't know her right because she pled guilty, and she pled that she had, I don't know what the conversation was behind closed doors. No wonder she don't like me. You know, she pled guilty to a lesser charge. What was the initial charge? What's the initial charge? She had to plead guilty to the lesser charge. Her attorney, I don't know what the initial charge was. Her attorney, what was the initial charge? Bribery, intent to deceive and defraud, not with $15,000. Not with a pouch of $15,000. No, it was none of that. It was none of that. She should have walked out there with a fine and community service, not for $15,000. And what about the other girl? She paid $250,000. Since you have a problem, I'm gonna make a video about my problem. I'm going to make a video about my problem because I feel like I don't know what God wants me to do. Why am I living with this? I'm gonna make a video about my problem. Because my answer is, if you have a choice, and the Bible says God give us a choice, and you have a choice, and you have multiple choice, A, B, or C. Multiple choice, A, B, or C. And that's why I make a video about my problem. I'm gonna show you I have a choice. I'm gonna ask for help. People say, "Oh, she asked for help." I'm not asking for help. I have a choice. Now I'm gonna show you what my choices are, and we're gonna make some change together online, because that's what the sharing community is about. But anyway, what I was saying is the other girl, she had $50,000. Then that's a lot more money, and they would say, well, it's a lot more intent to deceive with a lot more money. But still, I think she was right to say she wasn't guilty. Why? Because you never say you're guilty, but you're innocent until you. The American law said you're innocent until proven guilty. You have a right to due process. She was a first offender. She had never committed a crime before. Right, she's a first offender. Her intent, we had to see what her intent was. Her intent was not to defraud the American public. Her intent was to do what she had been, what all Hollywood had been doing, buying anything they can afford. You can buy it, you can have it. And her intent was to buy something for her family. Her intent was not to defraud or deceive anybody. So what they lied about this and they lied about that. Well, they were given something that privileged people get. I think they did that because they weren't A-listed like they thought they was. Hey, let's this on my face. But anyway, I didn't mean to harm, by saying anything about the case. I just was wondering why all of a sudden they're taking that privilege from them. But I be careful. All the little princesses better be careful. You better be careful, little princess. I wouldn't get on the wrong side of the law. The law is evil. The law is real evil. I would not break the law. I would, even if a mistake. Even if it was a mistake, I wouldn't break the law. Because you don't know what people will do. Because when they begin to classify you as a criminal, then they'll know what they could do to you, saying you were doing something criminal. You ain't doing that. Probably made a mistake. You know what people do to you, saying that you're a criminal. I was this lady trying to vilify her. I would tell her back. She don't know what to say when somebody is hurting her feelings. Back, baby. I don't know why you want to label me as something. No, what's your next move? What's your next move? Why? Because you're trying to label me and you're trying to say that something's wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with me. And you don't like me. You have every right to stay within your boundaries, and I will stay within mine. Back. Not going to label me, because then what's your next move? And that's what I want to know. But I'm finna stay out of that because I don't want them to think I need nothing. I don't need nothing. I'm already taking my concern before God, and I'm going to, well, say, why would you make a video about your problem? Well, because I'm dealing with something. I need to make a living. I have a family to take care of. So what my next move going to be? My next move, I was waiting to make a movie. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a little history and background on my career and my job and all of that. I was waiting to make a move till I knew a little bit more about what I was doing, had a little experience. You know, there's a school in New York Film Academy that have satellite campuses in California and Florida and New York, of course. And you can take the class for I think 6 or 8 weeks, 12 weeks, a year, and then of course 4-year bachelor degree. So I was gonna take one of the little short classes, get some knowledge about what I was doing, then take one of my screenplays that I had written and go ahead and produce it. I have no clue. But I said, you know, everything is screwy. Everything is screwy. Everything is going badly. You know what? Just go ahead and let the movie go badly, even if it's not the best. That'd be one way to go ahead and just get some experience. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just go ahead and move forward with making one of my little screenplays. I don't think I'm going to take one that's close to my heart. What do you mean one that's close to my heart? You know, well, I had read a book opening, Brother Daniel. Should I take Brother Daniel? Well, I don't want to screw everything up about Brother Daniel. But what if I make one about women in prison? Well, what about you going to take this woman's personal experience and write about it? Netflix did it. I have my own. I don't have to do that. I have my own, and now that I have other experiences with the law, because I took criminal justice in college, we had field trips to the prison to learn about different aspects and meet different levels of professionals in the prison. Also, when I went to church, I was a volunteer on the prison ministry, so I have experience there as well. What do you mean a prison ministry? Well, if you're a church auxiliary, you can work on. If you're on a church auxiliary, you're in the choir. You might be a deaconess. You might be a Sunday school teacher. You might work with the children. You know what I'm saying? So you have different auxiliaries, and one of those auxiliaries was, you can be on minutes you want, if you can manage it. But one of the auxiliaries was prison ministry. So you go out to the prison, you teach them from the Bible. You might also give them a gift, some clothes, some socks, and some food, some shampoo, some soap, deodorant, whatever. But so I have different experiences that I can expound upon. I don't have to use nothing about that woman's experience. I don't even know it. Even the screenplay I wrote had nothing to do with her experience at all. None at all. But I could probably do some takeaways. The encompass stuff for the legal professionals that she was working with. That's what sticks out in my mind about that. Her legal team was incompetent or dirty. They were incompetent or they were just dirty. But I don't know her. Anyway, if I don't know her, I don't want nothing from her. Anybody who know me know that if I was serious, I could, I don't need. Well, I'm bullshitting a lot. People, that's not know that if you don't know nothing about me, if you know nothing about me, ask people what they know about me. Say my name and you'll know what they know about me. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. I bullshit a lot, and I'm a Christian. Cynthia Hayward, my name is synonymous with a good woman. She's a Christian. She did have family issues. That's common knowledge here. And she bullshits a lot. That's a hell of a contradiction for a Christian to bullshit a lot. I know. But sometimes Jesus told the disciples, go into all the world. When they went out to preach, you think the disciples were expecting some of those places they were going? You think they were expecting to see some of the things they saw in some of the places they were going? I don't know. I think some of the places were very unlike places where they were accustomed to. I think some of those places they went to were very unlike some of the things they were accustomed to. And going into the the, what do I say, the inner city of Black America. If you don't encounter somebody that's bullshit, you'll encounter a lot of stuff. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about myself personally, professionally, and I think I'm just go ahead and make a move about prison. It's nothing serious, it's nothing close to my heart. It'll give me some practice, and it might give me some money, hopefully. It'll give me some experience. And so that's what I'm going to do. And am I taking your experience? I just said, boo-boo. Don't make me clown you like them white women clowning you in Hollywood. I just said I don't have to have any takeaways from your experience. I had many encounters with the correctional system. So I know what I'm talking about when I say something about it. I could introduce you to my professors. They taught me in these classes. I could introduce you to them. I could introduce you to the warden. How you met the warden? When I was in class, we went to a field trip down to the prison. That's one instance when I met the warden. So I could introduce you to a lot. As I introduced you to the church, the woman that's over the prison ministry, auxiliary team, I can introduce you to her. As a matter of fact, she would probably enjoy taking you along on how she prepared her lesson, and so when we could go out and share the gospel with the people at prison. I don't need to take any takeaways from it. I say my takeaway from that was the incompetence of your legal team. Here in Louisiana, a first offender wouldn't serve no time unless you was guilty of something that's more than $15,000, and that's what Netflix might be finna say. And I'm like, oh, they dirty, Netflix dirty. What Netflix finna tell us? You better be glad for double jeopardy. I don't know what Netflix know about you, but you better be glad for double jeopardy. You cannot be retried. You cannot be retried after it has already been tried and closed. Anyway, let me set up like I know what I'm talking about. I want everybody to be blessed. I don't want nobody to go to jail over no bullshit. And I want nobody to be hurt. No one. Now, if we have a psychopathic killer out there, yeah, I hope the police are doing their job. So anyway, with that being said, everyone have a blessed and wonderful weekend. And I need to sit down and get something done in my spiritual life and in my professional life. Because I be sitting there talking all kind of noise about how I can do this and how I can do that and how I can do this, how I can do it. But I'm not going to do some things. And some things I need to do if I can do it. So with that being said, have a wonderful weekend, everyone.